oh, you got to do natty or not on this guy. Look at his scene with his shirt off in the tub and the whole thing, and he's standing in the delts and the arms. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. I'm going to do this video, and I'm going to say he's not natty, and I'm going to prove it with The Witcher, and I can't wait. Coach Greg, and today's video is about Henry Cavill. Whether or not his physique is natural or enhanced. Remember, it's not whether it's possible. Obviously, it's possible for people with good genetics to achieve that. It's whether he himself was natural or not. 98% of the time, I am correct. So you can see if I am right or wrong, whether you agree, disagree, and so on. Remember, click the like button, subscribe, and the bell, and the like, and the bell button to get notified about all these videos so you can watch and comment right away, okay? Like it now, you're gonna love it. All right, first off, I'm not his coach, not his trainer, not his dietitian, not his personal chef, not his talent agent, nothing, no relation other than I wear the same shirt as he does. Superman. Awesome. What do? I look at photos, videos of them when they were younger to assess, was it make sense that they could make that much progress? So I first looked back at the oldest I could find was him at 18 years of age. He was in a movie called Laguna. And at 18, he already had a decent build. What do I mean by decent? I mean, it was friggin' well developed for an 18-year-old. As in, better than 95% of what 18-year-olds look like. Does it mean he could have won a bodybuilding show? No, but a natural, I have no belief that he was on anything as an 18-year-old, and he was just, slight training and had a good build. Genetically, I would say a decent amount of potential to get bigger, to be that big at 18. Some of you, of course, are bigger than him at 18 and shut up and don't talk about it. It's not a video to show off about what you can do. It's about what he can do, Henry Cavill. Then, fast forward 2 extra years, he's in Midsommar Murders. He had gotten a bit chubby, okay? He looked a bit thick, like he had some decent muscle size, but obviously was carrying a decent amount of body fat. Based on what I see, he is kind of an endomorph, mesomorph mix, kind of like his body naturally wants to hold a little bit more body fat, not like crazy endomorph, a little bit, but also to get muscular without extreme difficulty. Why is this important? Well, it indicates that if he trains hard, he's going to pack on a decent amount of muscle, but he's not going to be shredded all the time. He doesn't have like ectomorphic, like ripped basketball player, shredded marathon runner genetics. If he did, it'd be hard to put on more muscle. 5 more years later, age 25, Blood Creek. His build is getting better. He's getting more muscle, but a lot less body fat. He's probably just under 20% body fat in this role and has a decent build. So from looking at him in age 18 to 25, we're talking 7 years now, and he has built up some kind of a muscle base foundation. He's improving. Not in any indication of what would be strange or that he would need some kind of enhancement. No one would look at his physique and be like, oh man, this guy's on something. No, doesn't mean he's natural, but it does mean he looks like he is. Next is 2 more years, the age of 28. This is when I became a fan of him. I liked his physique in this movie, Immortals. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It was a great movie, okay? He's 28 years old, it's 2011, and he is in, to me, the shape of his life in this video. He's much leaner, like getting close to 10% body fat, 10 to 12%, I'll say, okay? Very much a lot leaner. It doesn't have that mass. He doesn't look huge. As you get a lot leaner, your muscles just don't swell out as much. So you're not going to have that jacked look. But certainly for a natural guy to have that kind of muscle, that's pretty good. But remember, this is like 10 years later. He's 28 years old from, it's 10 years later. It's normal to think that a guy that's just training, not even crazy training, with good genetics is going to look like that, okay? I have no belief that he was on any kind of enhancements. Could he have been? Of course, no one's gonna know if he took a fat burner, Clen, or whatever little fat burner here. We don't know, but it doesn't look he's on like any enhancement for muscle building. The most suspicious, most like, I don't know. Man of Steel, 2013, the age of 30. Why does it look suspicious? Well, he's got this shirtless scene where he steals some clothing and he is thickly built, like he's got some chest on him and his shoulders are big and his arms are quite developed and he's just like kind of hulking around and standing there and he looks really good and really developed. And when I saw that scene, I'm like, oh, he's probably not natural, okay? But then I did further research and looked into it, okay? He's not even close to as lean as he was 2 years prior in the Immortals. What is his stats? He's 6'1" and 15% plus body fat, okay? He is not lean at all. Remember, he has some endomorphin in him. He's not a naturally ripped guy. If he was, he would have showed up for Superman in better shape than that. Is he in bad shape? No. Trust me, 95% of the world wants to look like that. It's friggin' good. He's a good-looking guy, has a good build, but he's not lean by any counts. If I was that lean, I would be not happy with my physique at all. I'd probably be 220 pounds and soft and not like it. It's just not for me. For him, it looks great, okay? So not knocking his physique. 6'1", 175 pounds. Does that sound not natty? No, but that's Immortals. How big is he in Man of Steel now? 190. And that's on his heavy days. It actually reports he's between 186 and 190. So he's fluctuating in there. So he's 186 to 190 pounds in the Man of Steel. That's 11 to 15 pounds bigger. Well, that's a lot in 2 years. But it's not muscle. It's maybe 5 pounds of muscle. It's really mostly fat, okay? So he's got mostly fat and maybe 5, let's even say 6, 7 pounds of muscle. That's 2 years of hard training. In Immortals, the training he would have been doing is mostly fitness-based, cardio-based, swinging swords and running around and chin-ups and burpees, whatever the heck they're doing. He's not focused on being big, just more like leaner. And remember, he doesn't have an easy time being lean. So he would have been on a calorie-restricted diet and not loving life because the dude likes to eat. It's obvious. He has a bit more body fat. If he just let himself go, he's not going to carry under 20% body fat. He has to like watch his food intake to make sure he's not chubby, okay? He's naturally a more chubbier but more stockier, muscular built man, okay? So then he stops Immortals, he's training for Man of Steel, and it's like, get jacked. So he bulks, he goes on like 5,000 calorie diet, puts on some fat and muscle, half's fat, half's muscle, looks bigger. What about the scene though? He looks so freaking big. How is he natural? Let's analyze it. You think he just took his shirt off and ran on the friggin' grass and grabbed some clothes? There's a zero chance that man did not do 30 minutes of the most intense pump up of his life. Carved up, pumped up, breathe in, hold your chest up, go like this a little bit. It would be like if I did 75 push-ups right now and did like curls for an hour and then did my video, you'd be all like, oh man, Greg, you just took something. No, I took some push-ups. It's just a pump. So he's pumped to the max. And they have $100,000 cameras and special lighting, fancy lighting like this. Okay? They have all the best lighting in the world. And the best lighting is going to make, look, I'm enhanced now. Not enhanced, better. Okay, so there's better lighting and it makes you look bigger. And he's pushing up and he's eating the right thing. And he has 75 trainers and dietitians telling him what to eat for that scene. And that's why he looks really good and enhanced. You look at other scenes in the Superman movies, Man of Steel and so on, he doesn't look like as impressive. He's just chubbier in that scene and fuller looking, but it's not like, wow, it's just an enhanced look. It's not anabolics that did that. Is it possible? It's possible. I just don't think so. Why else do I think he's natural? Because why would he be natural? He's bigger than Michael B. Jordan. Well, the reason is simple. Well, one of the reasons is simple. Why wouldn't he take performance enhancers? They literally, as in the owners of the movie, the people producing the movie, the higher ups, the bigwigs. Whatever you do, trainers, do not let this guy take anything suspicious, anabolic, anything that might tarnish his name as Superman. He's Superman. Clean cut, he has to be a good boy. It's not Rambo. We don't care if you're on GH. Rambo, Stallone, go take whatever you want. Look freaking jacked. You're a killer, you're a bad guy, kind of like, we don't care if you're on this supplements, okay? So it makes sense. So Henry Cavill is told, like, you can't do it. The trainers are told, you can't take him and give him these things. If it comes out that they found out that he was on some anabolic, it kind of ruins the image. They don't want negative publicity for this I'll call it billion-dollar franchise of Supermans that have been going on for decades. They don't want the Superman image to be turned. Imagine if Henry Cavill comes out. Yeah, I was on that test stuff. That's why I looked so good in that shirt. Oh my goodness, imagine the flack the movie would get, the negative publicity. Most of the people watching these Superman shows are kids, and so on. And so it's not something that they would have wanted. And frankly, Superman is not like Mr. Jack. Like, look in the old Supermans. Was Christopher Reeves a beast? No, none of the old Supermans were jacked. It's not a role that's like big. Like, if I had to play Hercules, well, oh my goodness, Thor, it's like those roles are jacked dudes, okay? He-Man. You ever see He-Man? My favorite cartoon growing up. He-Man, Power of Grayskull. You know, I'm He-Man. Look at me, I'm He-Man. You're not going to get some little wimp to play He-Man. Henry Cavill couldn't play He-Man. He's not jacked enough. They need The Rock, with blonde hair, of course. But they need a friggin' beast to do that role, okay? So that's why. Couldn't tarnish the image. Fast forward and why I actually did this video, well, other than so many people wanting to, is this show on Netflix called The Witcher, which I am now watching and love. I really like this show. And I was super pumped because everyone was telling me, oh, you got to do natty or not on this guy. Look at his scene with his shirt off in the tub and the whole thing, and he's standing in the delts and the arms. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. I'm going to do this video and I'm going to say he's not natty and I'm going to prove it with The Witcher and I can't wait. So what do I think now? Is he on anything now for The Witcher? Because, man, he's playing a hardcore, bad, tough guy with the sword, killing the monsters, and is just like, doesn't care. He's not the nice guy Superman anymore. There's no real reason why he has to be, like, all natty. So what do I think? I think he doesn't look any bigger than Superman, maybe arguably smaller, body fat arguably higher, nothing impressive. Does he train? Of course, he likes training. He's working out, he's doing his thing. He's not watching his diet, he's not super lean, his body fat is higher, and he's not any more impressive. Well, what about the tub scene? Well, he's standing back like this, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the scene, to see if he's jacked. I sound like I'm gay and a fan of his. I'm not gay, I just like the physiques, whatever. Maybe I'm partially gay, I don't even know. Whatever, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're gay.
It doesn't matter what you think.
He's in the tub, and you know it's a scene where he's shirtless. They will say, okay, you gotta look your best now. Don't drink any water all day. Don't eat. Don't get your stomach up. You're not gonna go in there with a bloated stomach eating a big jumbo salad. No, they tell them exactly what to eat. They might even use diuretics, but that's not gonna be considered natty or not. But whatever. So he gets in the scene, and at his best, and oh boy, you're gonna be in the tub. 50 reps of side laterals, 29 curls, push-ups, the whole thing, chin up, everything's pumped to the max, and sit in the tub, action! And the dude looks not on anything. So, I mean, if you look at that, and you look at his old videos of him in his other roles, like Immortals, Yeah, he's bigger than Immortals, but he's not even remotely close to the same body fat. He's got minimum 10 pounds of body fat. I'd say at least 15 from Immortals. And so he's gonna look bigger, just rounder muscles. Like, you know how everyone's like, oh, I bulked up, I put on 40 pounds this year. And they think it's 40 pounds of muscle. And then when they diet down, they discover it was 5 pounds of muscle and the rest was fat and water. That's the case here. He puts on a little bit of muscle. But I mean, think of it, it's years later. It's not like, wow, oh my God, I watched him in this movie and he's skinny man and now he's friggin' He-Man. He's far from He-Man. He's the same as Superman. There's no improvement, there's no change, there's no reason to think he took anything. In conclusion, he is natty. Kaboom, natty. Superman is natty. That's attainable. He's been training for 10 years plus to get to the look that he is in Witcher. He doesn't look super imposing. He's 6 foot plus tall. He's not a short midget like me, and he's not even 200 pounds. And he's over 6 feet tall, and he trains hard with good genetics for muscle and for building a bit of fat. If he had better genetics for conditioning, trust me, the dude would have had the full 6-pack and he would have been back in the bath and looked all like impressive. If you're taking your shirt off and millions of people are watching you, you want to look your best. And so he's looking his best without trying too hard, and he looks good, and he can rely on his facial features, which are, I mean, clearly above average looking in the face. Body's above average looking. Not redonkulous, not crazy, but definitely attainable natural. Is it attainable for you natural? My estimate is 90% of you, no. 90% no. So if you're watching this video and you're 20, 25 years old, 16, there's a 9 in 10 chance that you will not look as impressive as him without anabolics or some kind of performance enhancer. Does that mean you can't? No, it means that there's a good chance that you can't. The genetic factor is important. If you look at yourself and you're 18, 19, 20 years old and you're fairly well built, more than your friends, you remember grade 9 or grade 7 or whatever, and you look around and you're like, in the class that you're in, you're like, I seem to have the best build of all my 10 friends. You're probably the dude that could look like this, natural or even better. If you're the guy that's like, I got picked last in gym class, and trust me, I coach a lot of these guys. They pick last in gym class, no muscle, no nothing, and then they train natural, and then they wonder why they don't have the builds of some of these other guys. Versus, I coach them, oh yeah, I went to the record for the 100-meter dash in grade 8, I ran 12.1, and I went 11.2 in university, and I played every sport. And it's like, obviously these super athletes, natural, are gonna look more impressive. I have guys who are natural that have way better builds than guys that I coach who are not natural. And it's like, and it's not even close. And they could take anything and everything, and they do, some of these guys, and their builds look zero impressive. There's guys that are on everything you can imagine, more than me, that if you saw a picture of them, you would say there is zero chance they're on anything. And they're on everything. Sad for them, sucks for them, but it's just the way life works, okay? Not everyone can be amazing. Not everybody. So it's not a video to say, yeah, you can do anything you want natural. And it's not a video to say, oh, yeah, you have to take something. It's a video just to speak the truth and say it and tell it like it is. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro, Instagram. Blooping up a natty or not video over here because that's what you like. Another natty or not video over there. That's what you like. One of them is going to be natty, and the other one may or may not be natty. I'm not going to spoil it. Until next time, I am out. I'm going to fly away. I'm out. Woof, woof.